By 878, the fate of England hung in the balance. For years, Viking forces had overrun Anglo-Saxon lands, pushing King Alfred of Wessex to the brink of defeat. But at Edington, Alfred made his stand. Here, the ancestors of modern England clashed with the ancestors of modern Denmark and Norway in a battle that would decide the future of the island. The year is 878, Vikings versus Anglo-Saxons, a final, desperate fight to decide who would rule England. For over a decade, Viking armies had swept across England, seizing land and crushing Anglo-Saxon resistance. The great heathen army had already conquered Northumbria, East Anglia and Mercia, leaving Wessex as the last Anglo-Saxon kingdom standing. Alfred had suffered defeat after defeat, and by early 878 he had been forced to flee into the marshes of Somerset, hiding with a small band of loyal warriors. But he wasn't finished yet. Alfred rallied his forces, calling on Saxon warriors from across Wessex. Through hit and run attacks, he weakened the Viking occupiers, gathering strength for a final battle. Then, in May 878, Alfred marched his newly formed army to face the Viking leader Guthrum at Edington. The battlefield was set open ground near the Viking encampment. Alfred deployed his army in a tight shield wall, a battle formation designed to absorb and counter enemy charges. Guthrum's Vikings, fierce warriors trained in relentless assaults, attacked with full force, hoping to break through the Saxon lines. But this time, Alfred's men held firm. The shield wall absorbed wave after wave of attacks, pushing back the Vikings with brutal efficiency. As the battle raged on, it was the Vikings who began to tire. Their formation weakened, and sensing the moment, Alfred ordered a counterattack. The Anglo-Saxons surged forward, breaking the Viking lines, forcing them into retreat. By the end of the battle, Guthrum's army was shattered. Surrounded and outnumbered, he had no choice but to surrender. The battle was over. The Anglo-Saxons had won. But this wasn't just a victory, it was a turning point. With Guthrum defeated, Alfred forced the Vikings into a historic peace agreement. The Danes converted to Christianity, and England was divided into two zones, the Anglo-Saxon-controlled south and the Viking-controlled Danelaw in the north. Alfred's victory saved Wessex and ensured that England would remain an Anglo-Saxon kingdom. But could the Vikings have reinforced Guthrum? Some historians suggest that if more Viking warbands had arrived from the Danelaw or Denmark, they could have turned the tide. If Guthrum had held out longer, could Viking rule have expanded across all of England? Or was Alfred's leadership simply too strong? Like and subscribe for more historical breakdowns.